Now you've probably noticed there are a lot of different hotkeys for the different functions that you'll be doing in Maya. These hotkeys can save you a lot of time, so it's a good idea to learn as many as you can. This will speed up your workflow and allow you to concentrate on being more creative. If you want to make any changes to hotkeys from the defaults, you can customize them under Window, Settings, Preferences, Hotkey Editor. Now in the Hotkey Editor, you can find a list of nearly all of the commands organized by categories. So under Edit Mesh, I can see a list of Edit Mesh functions. I like the Split Polygon tool. It has a default hotkey of Command P, but I added another hotkey, the letter K. This hotkey was used for an animation function by default, and I'm not doing much animation, so I was able to assign this hotkey to the Split Polygon tool because I use it so much in modeling. When you assign the key, you get a warning if it's already assigned to another function, and you can override that and force the hotkey editor to assign that new key or key combination to the function that you want it to be associated with. So you can have a key plus control, option, command, or any combination of those function keys. Anyway, that's a basic introduction to the hotkey editor. We may be able to go into that in more detail later. As far as organizing your digital workflow, Maya uses what's called a project. If you go to File, Project Window, you'll get this window here. By default, Maya projects are saved in your Documents folder under Maya Projects. You can create a new project, and this will help you organize all of the models and textures and different assets that are associated with this project. Maya likes to use this organization to help it find things. This will be really important as a way of locating the textures that I'm going to give you and keeping them in a place where Maya can find them. So I can create a new project and give it a title here. Let's call it Maya Introduction, and we'll just go ahead and save it in my default location, Users, My Name, Documents, Maya Projects. Okay, so we accept that, and now the project is located in that place. If I go next to File, Set Project, I can find in the default directory my Maya Introduction project that I made. In the Scenes folder within that directory is where I can save my project. If I want to set the project to a different directory, I can find that directory in a different place, and I can set this project to this directory. Now, by default, whenever I want to open a scene, Maya will go first to that project directory that I've set. And I can save the scene files in the Scenes folder. This scene is saved in a new folder I created in that directory called Annabelle, but you can set it up the way that Maya likes to organize things, and that'll make it easier to transfer your project to another person to open and work on, or your teacher to review. Okay, so those are found under the File drop-down, Project Window, and Set Project. You can also get recent files and recent projects from this drop-down menu. When I want to save the scene, I go to the File drop-down menu, and I can save the scene, or save it as. If I want to change the name, I choose Save As. And I basically have two options, Maya ASCII and Maya Binary. These are similar, but there's some programmatical differences that may matter if you're doing scripting. I typically use Maya Binary because it's a simpler file, and I don't require the editing functions of the ASCII format because I'm not doing scripting or programming with these files. But you can use Maya ASCII or Maya Binary. You'll notice the suffix is either MA or MB. That's how you recognize your Maya files. So that's just a little introduction to how to save projects using the Maya project directory. Now in your File drop-down menu, you have the option to import, export all, and export selection. These options allow you to bring file formats from other types of software into Maya, such as OBJs and so forth. Also FBX, which is a format that can be opened in 3D Studio Max or Maya, and it can be used to transfer your models from one program to the other. I can save the entire scene to a different file format. If I go to Export All and click on this rectangle to open the options, I have a drop-down list under File Type that gives me a choice of formats that I can export in, OBJ, FBX, and so forth. Also under the File drop-down list, I can export selection. So if I just have one object selected, like this character, I can export only the thing that is selected. Click the rectangle to open the options, select the file type I want to export, and export selection. So those are some options as far as importing and exporting 3D objects to and from other programs. Now just looking a little more closely here at your status line, you have these icons to create a new scene, open a saved scene from a directory, and save your current scene. In this status line, we also have these little dividers that allow you to show and hide a certain set of objects in the status line. I usually keep them all open because if one of these is closed and nested, then I won't be able to find the commands that I may be looking for. But as you grow more familiar with the contents, you can simplify your user interface by opening and closing these drawers. This drop-down is your selection mode menu. This is a way of limiting the types of objects that you can select from your scene. These two icons allow you to select by object type or by component type, but I like to right-click and get to my components this way.